All right, so first off, I do want to apologize to my kids, Tatum and Jax, DC, and my mother for this. But Shaman Rice, this is actually a very great prospect fight. This is actually going to be a really fun one for the fans. I see a lot of these fights tonight are actually pick'ems. Right. Any of them can be fight of the night. It's actually going to be incredible. Shaman Rice is an in-and-out power striker. He fights a little tight, which wastes a lot of energy. He doesn't really like the pressure when people put it on him, but his elbow work is absolutely amazing, and he loves that rip lean over to the body. He's a little heavy on his front leg, which I don't like for this style that Yosef's going to bring with that crazy calf kick he throws. Oh, my goodness, watch the fuck out with that. When he does kick, when Moraes does kick, he likes to lean back, falls away. He loses a lot of power on that, which I really don't like. So that kind of stands out to me as well. But Yusuf has super talent. Man, this kid is super pretty to watch. He does a lot of sample size to him, but his kick speed is incredible. He stays relaxed and flowy. He has pretty good BJJ, but not that great. He's still up and coming. But for this one, I do got Sadiq Yosef, second round, TKO.
Ken Flo Sadiq, a lot of hype behind him, rightfully so. Lloyd Irvin trained, 2-minute knockout in his UFC debut back in December, getting a step up in competition here against Moraes, whom I know you're familiar with, obviously trains there in Los Angeles. Only UFC loss for him in his debut against Zabit Magomed Sharipov. That was back in 2017. Your thoughts on Sadiq Youssef and Shaman Moraes?
That's right, and no shame in that loss to Magomed Sharipov. But I think Sadiq Youssef, I like his style. I'm not sure I was so sold on him until his last fight. I really like his technique. I really like his speed, his fluidity. I think Youssef matches up very well here against Moraes, and I expect him to get the win here in this one.
All right, Sadiq Youssef minus 175 here as we sit here on Monday morning. All right, next up, title eliminator, I guess, of sorts in the strawweight division. Most believed next title challenger after Jessica Andrade is going to come out of that Nina Ansaroff-Tatiana Suarez fight. But this weekend, Kyle, main card, 6th-ranked Karolina Kowalkiewicz, minus 150 against number 9 Michelle Waterson, who comes back at plus 120. You like Kowalkiewicz or the karate hottie in Philly, Kyle?
So this one's going to be pretty in more than just one ways. Karolina single-ply Kowalkiewicz versus the karate hottie is going to be an outstanding scrap. Both of these women are actually evolving very well in this ever-changing game of MMA. They're both striking specialists, but they both out-grappled the big and strong Felice Herrig, which I'm actually very surprised watching those back. I mean, they dominated that girl on the ground, which I did not think. But, you know, we all know this is going to be a striker's delight, boys. With Waterson's stance-switching heavy kick game against one of the, I think, the best true 8-point strikers in the world for the women's division in Karolina, this fight is going to be just amazing. With both girls not really having true KO power, I do see the full 15 on this one. I see karate using her quick lateral movement, lightning fast step and side kick, roundhouse kicks. But I think that Kowalkiewicz is actually going to really get this one. She does keep her hand up high, that right hand tight to her chin, ready to land that 3-piece with a soda. So that roundhouse should be not too effective for her, I think.
So you're going
Karolina. It's going to be a beautiful strike. Oh, sorry.
So you're going Karolina minus 150, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, we'll take single ply toilet paper for the win. Decision.
All right. Karolina Kowalkiewicz minus 150. She was knocked out viciously by Jessica Andrade. That was UFC 228 last September in Dallas. So she took some time off, gets back here. Kenny, I think Waterson right now, far and away, the best version of herself. Fighting prime, 33 years old, 2 straight wins, Courtney Casey, Felice Herrig. Her confidence is just on a completely different level, maximizing the promotional push that she is getting. The question is, does she vault into contention and take out the favorite Kowalkiewicz?
This is a tough one. I think Michelle Waterson is right now at the prime part of her career right now. I do agree with you there. Her confidence is high. She also gets off to a good start typically, but she can fade a little bit later in the fight. She can lose her focus a little bit. I do like what she's doing with her takedowns here, but I don't think she's going to be able to take down Kowalkiewicz. I think it will be a battle in that clinch, kind of the Muay Thai style clinch of Kowalkiewicz versus the wrestling of Michelle Waterson. I think Waterson has very good side kicks. She needs to use them in this fight against the taller, lankier Kowalkiewicz. But I don't think it's going to have a huge effect on Kowalkiewicz. I think Kowalkiewicz's length is going to be a problem for Waterson. I think she's going to be able to stop the takedowns, and I think Kowalkiewicz gets the win here against Michelle Waterson.
All right, you guys agree on the first two fights. Now we get to a featured bout at featherweight, and a good one, a pick'em according to Las Vegas. Josh Emmett, -115. Michael the Menace Johnson, -115. Kyle, who do you like here at featherweight?
So really quick, I do want to give a shout-out to Meraki BJJ. Woo! Please call 424-292-8280. Yes. Or if you would like, just fucking Google Kenny Florian BJJ. It'll pop up on your screen, baby. Sorry about that. I just want to throw that in there for you, big guy. But yeah, Josh Emmett, man, he has true man strength. I mean, this guy has muscles on top of muscles. I mean, it's crazy what this guy looks like. He has really good lateral movement. The only thing I really don't like, he doesn't really throw a lot of combinations. And I think with Michael Johnson's speed, he's going to need to touch him a couple times before he can land that. I feel he keeps looking for these power strikes too much. I do like his power, though. I mean, watch out. He's going to knock you the fuck out any second. His cage awareness is very good. I mean, he angles away quick. Michael Johnson, he has had issues. They've actually both have had issues making weight as of late. So this should be, let's hope they both make weight on this bad boy. Michael Johnson did just fight a power puncher in Artem Lobov, so he knows what he's looking for. And I think the southpaw stance is going to give Emmett fits a little bit. But he does have that quirky kind of TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz skip-step style with it. So he can go both ways, which is good. Let's be honest. I mean, Michael Johnson grew up in the UFC, so his record actually isn't what it should be. And he did fight Gaethje to a fight of the year. I mean, that fight was absolutely brutal and amazing. Can't complain about that. But I do actually think Josh will land one on him. I feel like Michael Johnson's slowing down just a little bit. So I think the power hooks will land. I've got Josh Emmett KO, I don't know, third round.
All right, Michael Johnson did miss weight, by the way, in Moncton, 147 pounds. So good on you there, Kyle. I somehow omitted that from memory when I was talking about MJ earlier on. But you're right about his UFC tenure may be affecting the pro record. 21st UFC appearance for Michael Johnson. Kenny's won 2 in a row. And Emmett back for the first time in more than a year when he was concussed by Jeremy Stevens. Emmett 13-2. Pick him according to Vegas, Flo. Who do you like?
This is an interesting fight. Listen, I think that Michael Johnson at 155 pounds has that knockout power to get it done. At 145 against Josh Emmett, though, he doesn't seem to have that same kind of pop. Now, movement-wise, I think he can give some problems to Josh Emmett. When Michael Johnson is moving laterally, he can be tough to catch. For Josh Emmett, I think he needs to mix in his wrestling, mix in that striking, especially in close range. Not going to be easy against a fast Michael Johnson. This is a tough one to pick, one that can certainly go either way, and I think the odds obviously, show that. I'll go with Emmett. Here.
All right, couple picks there on Josh Emmett. Now we get to the co-main event. Jack Hermansson, unranked right now at 185 pounds. He is the slight favorite here, -125 against 11th ranked David Branch. Kyle, who do you like in the co-main?
So both these guys are actually very underrated and not talked about enough in my book. Shout out to Barbershop Branch, Hall of Famer Matt Serra. Wow, brute butcher that one. Matt Serra, Hall of Famer nickname. That's good shit. So David Branch, his head movement is actually top notch. He moves his head so well that it's going to be tough for Hermansson's in and out floaty style to touch him. He has a beautiful blast double, great head position on his takedowns. He keeps it off to the side so he can't get choked. Hermansson's actually got that Tito Ortiz top game inside the guard, which I feel like he moves too much in the guard to try to advance positions. I want him to stay there and just blast him with elbows in the guard and the punches. I think he can pull this off. So this is Hermansson's coming out party for me. I've got Hermansson winning this in a decision.
All right, Jack Hermansson, the pick to click for Kyle in the co-main. 2 in a row for Hermansson. Ken Flo, he's won 4 of 5 overall. All of those finishes. David Branch is a beast, right? Proven commodity, certainly more so in this equation. The only man to beat Thiago Santos during this crazy run to contention for Maheta at light heavyweight. And that was a win by knockout for David Branch, but he's 2-2 in the second UFC stint. How do you see this one going down, Ken?
Jeez, this is a tricky one. I think for Hermansson, he's tough on the feet. He's very durable. I think he needs to fight that high pressure style against David and really try to back him up. I think Branch technically is better. I think he's way more dangerous on the ground. Not an easy matchup. This is another one that really could go either way. Hermansson's probably more durable, has a better chin, but I think Branch is way better on the ground. I'm going to go with a guy that I used to train with, David Branch.
And in our scoring system, you do get underdog points for David Branch if you are so incentivized. All right, main event, Edson Jr. Barboza, -155. Justin, the highlight, Gaethje, slight underdog, +125. Kyle will need the round and the method of victory here. Who do you like in the Philly headliner, kid?
So can I have a second to give some shout-outs to homies?
You can have like 50.
Or you want me to run to the... Okay, Christopher, Silky, Silkat, Eric, Khaki, Conway, Josh, Mighty Man, Draves, Jeremy, Martin, Vaughn, my two brothers-in-laws, Ryan and Peter, my sister Kate, my two nephews, Stephen Wanders and Jake Dibbs, and, of course, my beautiful wife, Nicole.
Yes.
Right.
How many of those people listen to the Anik Florian podcast?
All of them.
Every fucking single one of them, except for the wife. She'll listen to this one, okay? She will listen to this one. Okay. But so this one is I love and hate this fight for two reasons. One, because they're both some of my favorite fighters. I don't want to see either of them get a setback. To tell you the truth, I want them to both advance. With this fight, it's like what my wife says to me all the time. I really hope this is going to last longer than 5 minutes. No, I'm sorry. This fight should be so much for MMA fans to gobble up. I'm expecting at least somebody needing a wheelchair after this fight. These two both have lethal leg kick games. And let's be honest, though, Barboza is more technical. But to tell you the truth, Justin Gaethje just doesn't give a shit, which is my favorite thing. I mean, he'll throw it with reckless abandon. I did notice with Gaethje's defense that he is susceptible to body strikes with his shell up and lean-in style defense, which makes me nervous. That is the main reason I've been going back and forth on this fight. The two main reasons that I'm going with Gaethje to highlight on this one, number one, his fucking corner man, Jason Perillo, baby, you know it. The UFC's paying his ass to be a corner man. And number two, if you can believe it, it's actually Barboza's striking defense that's going to set me over the edge. He does have great leg kick checking, which is going to help him a little bit in this one, but it's his punching defense that pushed me over the edge. He doesn't feint enough for the crazy pressure that that Gaethje's going to put on him, and he's very susceptible to straight punches. Barboza looks to keep his hands up next to his ears, and he doesn't really parry very well or much at all, which should be a perfect style for Gaethje. Nah, you're fucking wrong. The craziest thing is Gaethje actually throws his power hooks and his overhand right with a forward trajectory. I think he might be the only guy in the UFC that actually has straight power hooks, I guess. I mean, they're not crosses, they're hooks, but they come in straight. So I've got Gaethje going with this one. He's going to split the difference and take away space and snap, crackle, pop, fucking Rice Krispie treats. Second round knockout for the highlight. And then after this fight, I want fucking Gaethje with that dude you got tattooed on your leg and not the new one coming in. The old one, baby. I want 209. I want Nate Diaz Gaethje. Fuck Conor McGregor right now. And who the fuck is me? Nobody.
Well, you're Kyle
That's
Lund.
hilarious.
If we're ever back in Seattle, my 2 UFC tickets are yours. Great job, buddy. Thanks for the time.
Dude, thank you guys so much. Kenny, you're the man. John, you're awesome.
You're the man. See you, buddy.
Kyle Lund making a return appearance here on the Anik Florian podcast. He got the shout-outs in. And I kind of like what he hit on. This might be the wheelchair fight, Kenny, this main event.
Woo!
I think somebody probably going to end up in a wheelchair. Barboza, 21st UFC start for him. Knockout of Dan Hooker back in December. Man, the voice is going right at the end of the show. Gaethje knocked out James Vick as well. That was in August in a main event in Lincoln, Nebraska. Huge lightweight headliner on ESPN Live this Saturday night. The world wants to know, on which side does Ken Flo fall?
Oh, man. He had some decent analysis there for sure. He just got Jason Perillo wrong. I mean, Jason Perillo doesn't corner him. Come on, Kyle. Jeez. All right. Well, listen. I think that there's no doubt that Gaethje can win that fight. Gaethje has, I think, more knockout power, in my opinion, with his hands than Edson Barboza does. He's a high-pressure fighter, and he's going to need that style if he wants to beat Edson Barboza. And, just like Ian said before, I mean, I want to see Gaethje utilize his wrestling, even if he just uses it once in a while, just something to kind of give a different look to a fighter instead of being too predictable. But Gaethje is an absolute samurai. This is a guy who knows exactly who he is. He's a fucking warrior, and he will either knock you out or get knocked out. And he has no problem with either of those results. He's an absolute beast, and I love watching him fight, and it's going to be a great fight because of that. Now, with Edson Barboza, he has more weapons. I think this is one of those fights that most likely he doesn't have to worry about the takedown. And those are the kind of fights that Edson Barboza loses, when he gets taken down, when he has to fight on the ground off of his back, when he has to utilize a lot of energy to get back to his feet. I think Edson Barboza needs to do two things: beat up the legs of Gaethje and beat up the body of Gaethje. If he does that, he can set up the head kick knockout. This is the benefit of going second, John. I get to go the other way. If I think it's a close fight, I'm going to go the other way with Edson Barboza and try to pick up some points. I'll go with a knockout in round 3.